This is the regular Samsung Galaxy S26, not the S26 Plus, not the S26 Ultra. This is the base model. This is the cheapest Galaxy S26 Samsung sells. And today we're going to unbox it, set it up, go over the specs, check what comes in the box, and I'll give you my honest first impressions. Because when people hear base model, they usually think cheap. But this is supposed to be a real Samsung flagship. So the question is simple. Does the regular Galaxy S26 actually feel premium? Or does it feel like Samsung wants you to spend more money on the Plus or Ultra? Let's find out. Today we're unboxing the Samsung Galaxy S26. The regular one, the small one. The one a lot of people might ignore because everyone is obsessed with the Ultra. But honestly, this might be the S26 that makes the most sense for normal people. Starting with the box, this is very typical Samsung packaging. It's clean, minimal, not too dramatic. Inside the box, we have the S26 itself. Under that, we have the USB-C cable, some paperwork. Depending on your region, you might also get a SIM tool. But as expected, there's no charging brick in the box. That's just normal now. Annoying, but normal. So if you buy this phone, make sure you already have a compatible charger or you might need to buy one separately. And that's something people need to know before buying. Because spending flagship money and still needing to buy a charger separately is always a little painful. Okay, first feel. This does not feel cheap. That's important because this is the base S26. This is the cheapest model in the lineup, but in the hand, it still feels like a premium Samsung phone. It's light, it's thin, it feels solid. Samsung lists the regular S26 as 7.2mm thick and 167 grams, and honestly, you can feel that. This phone is not heavy. It's not chunky. It feels very easy to hold. The Ultra is obviously more impressive, but this feels more comfortable immediately. And for a phone you use all day, comfort matters. Design-wise, this is clean, simple, and very Samsung. Samsung talks about a more unified design and a camera island that brings the lenses together. The back feels premium, the sides feel solid, and Samsung says the S26 uses Armor aluminum and Corning Gorilla Glass Victus 2. So even though this is the base model, the build feels flagship. This is not a phone that screams for attention. It's not wild, it's not weird, it's not trying to be a foldable, it's just clean. And depending on what you like, that could be boring or it could be exactly the point. The size is probably the first thing I really like. The regular Galaxy S26 has a 6.3-inch display, and for a lot of people, I think this might just be the sweet spot. It's big enough for videos, social media, texting, emails, maps, and normal phone stuff. But it's not so big that it feels annoying. You can actually hold it comfortably. You can use it in one hand. You can put it in your pocket without feeling like you're carrying a tablet. And after using bigger phones, this feels refreshing. Yes, the Ultra gives you more screen, but the regular S26 gives you more comfort. And right away, I can see why people might prefer this. Now let's power it on. Setup is basically what you expect from a modern Samsung phone. You go through language, Wi-Fi, Google account, Samsung account, security, and all of that. Alright, so I just went through the whole setup process and everything has been set up now. With this phone, you also get Samsung's Galaxy AI experience built into the software. I'm not going to fully review every AI feature in this unboxing because that needs its own video, but I will be testing this properly. So things like photo assist, writing tools, summaries, search features, all of that matters because Samsung is pushing AI really hard with these phones. For now, the setup process felt very smooth, nothing weird so far. Now let's quickly go over the specs because people need to know what they're actually buying. This regular Galaxy S26 has a 6.3-inch display, it weighs 167 grams, and it's 7.2mm thick. It has a 4300 mAh battery, and Samsung lists up to 31 hours of video playback. For charging, Samsung says the Galaxy S26 can reach up to 55% in around 30 minutes. For storage, it comes in 256GB and 5 12GB options, and Samsung lists both with 12GB of memory. For cameras, you get a 12MP ultra-wide camera, 50 megapixel wide camera, a 10 megapixel telephoto camera with 3 times optical zoom, and a 12 megapixel selfie camera. Samsung also says the S26 and S26 Plus can zoom up to 30 times digitally. So yes, this is the base model, but this is not a budget phone. This is a real flagship. This is just the smallest and most affordable version of the S26 lineup. First impression of the display. Samsung still knows how to make a great screen. This looks really good. The colors pop, text looks very sharp, scrolling feels very smooth, and the screen size feels really practical. This is not the biggest display in the S26 lineup, but I do not think most people are going to look at this and think this feels cheap, because this does not feel cheap at all. It feels very premium. And honestly, the display is probably one of the main reasons this phone immediately feels like a flagship, because the screen is what you touch and look at every time you use the phone. And so far, this looks really good. This feels fast, and honestly it should. This is a flagship Samsung phone. Apps open quickly, scrolling feels smooth, switching between apps feels very easy. Nothing about this feels like you bought the cheap Galaxy, and that's really important because there is a difference between cheap and cheapest. This may be the cheapest S26, but it does not feel like a cheap phone. Now obviously I need more time to test heat, gaming, battery, and long-term performance, but first impression, this feels exactly how a flagship should feel. Fast and smooth. Now let's quickly look at the cameras. This is not a full camera test. I do not want to pretend I can judge the entire camera system in 5 minutes. But the camera app opens quickly, switching between lenses feels normal, and the setup here is solid for a base flagship. You get the 50 megapixel wide camera, 12 megapixel ultra wide, 10 megapixel telephoto with 3 times optical zoom, and 12 megapixel selfie camera. For normal users, this should be more than enough for everyday photos. But if cameras are your #1 priority, especially zoom and maximum camera flexibility, that's where the Galaxy S26 Ultra makes way more sense. So my first impression is this: good camera setup, but I need more time before giving a real verdict. Battery is probably the biggest question I have with the regular S26. Samsung lists this phone with a 4300 mAh battery and up to 31 hours of video playback. That sounds good, but this is still the small S26. The S26 Plus and Ultra have bigger batteries. The real question is, can this smaller Galaxy phone survive a normal day? That's something I need to test properly. Setup day is not enough. Battery needs real use. YouTube, social media, maps, camera, gaming, standby. So expect a battery test or 7 days later video, because this is probably the biggest deciding factor for a lot of people. So what do I like so far? Number 1, the size. The phone feels really comfortable. Number 2, the weight. At 167 grams, this feels light without feeling cheap. Number 3, I love the display. It looks premium immediately. Number 4, the build. The phone feels solid and clean. And number 5, the fact that this does not feel like a budget phone. This is probably the biggest thing. When you hear base S26, you might think Samsung cut too much. But first impression, this feels like a real flagship phone. Now, what do I not like so far? First, no charging brick in the box. Yes, it's expected, but still annoying. Second, battery is the biggest question I have. The phone feels great because it's small, but smaller phones always make me wonder about battery life. Third, Samsung's lineup creates FOMO, because even if the regular Galaxy S26 feels good, the Ultra is sitting there with a bigger screen, bigger battery, and better camera story. And fourth, price matters a lot. This phone makes sense if the price gap between this and the bigger models is meaningful. But if the S26 Plus or Ultra is only a little bit more expensive because of a sale or trade-in, then you need to think carefully. But so far, I really like this phone, but I would not tell everyone to buy it blindly. Based on first impressions, I think this regular Galaxy S26 is for someone who wants a premium Samsung phone but does not want a huge phone. Someone who wants flagship performance, a great display, good build quality, and Samsung software experience, but someone that does not need the Ultra. This is for normal users. People who text, scroll, watch videos, take everyday photos, use maps, listen to music, check emails, and want a phone that just feels good every day. This is probably not for the person who wants maximum battery, maximum screen, or Samsung's absolute best camera system. That person needs to look at the Ultra, but for normal people, I can already see the appeal. So my first impressions of the Galaxy S26 are actually pretty positive. It feels premium, it feels fast, the display looks awesome, the size is comfortable, the build feels solid, and it does not feel cheap just because it's the base model. But I still need to test the battery, I still need to test the performance over time, I still need to see how the camera holds up in real life, and I still need to decide if this phone makes sense at the price Samsung is charging. So right now, my first impression is this. The regular Galaxy S26 might be boring, but it also might be the S26 that makes the most sense for most people. And that's what I want to find out. Let me know in the comments what you want me to test next. Battery, camera, 7 days later, S26 versus S26 Ultra, 10 things Samsung didn't tell you. Make sure you hit like and subscribe to Remy Tech Lab, and I'll see you in the next one.